Video 19, nature of the self, nature of the enlightened being, within brackets, both are the same. In verse 28 of Atma Sakshatkara Prakaranam Devi Kalottaram, which is the chapter on direct realization of Brahman, not just intellectual understanding, direct experiential understanding of Brahman. Verse 28 says, Agattilum Purattilum illai agadu migadoorathu anmayilum mevadu agalamam and parandamam aarndolirum aange nee sindaye endrum seluthu. Agattilum Purattilum illai. It cannot be, Brahman cannot be said to reside outside. It cannot be said to reside inside. Adu migadoorathu anmayilum mevadu. Don't imagine that it exists somewhere in a far off place. Don't imagine that it is somewhere nearby to you. Agalamam and the parandamam aarndolirum aange nee sindaye endru seluthu. He says, focus your attention on that place where this Brahman shines forth, Agalamam, infinitely, widely we can say. Which means there is no limit. It is there everywhere. You cannot, beyond a point, you cannot conceive of the infinite nature through the mind, because mind itself is born of finite things. Its association with the finite body. So he says, focus on, place your attention on that place where this is shining forth, Brahman is shining forth. See, this is a reference to, again, a song in Upadesa Saram. He says, Uditta idathil odingi irithal adu kanmamum bhaktiyum undipara yoga jnanamum undipara. He says, going and residing, going and settling down in that place where the ego is born. Somewhere he says between the two chests, middle of the chest and abdomen, and above the abdomen, somewhere on the right hand side, he says there is a pinhole through which the infinite existence, infinite awareness enters the body. He says, it is said in Anubandham, Ulladhu Anubandham, supplement to 40 verses. So he says, focus your attention on that place, and he wants you to search, like how a person who dives deep into the ocean to get pearls. The same way he says, control your breath, control your thought, and then drive your attention to that place where this ego is born. Then ego will subside, Atma will reveal itself, he says. You don't have to make it reveal, it will reveal itself. It is shining forth all the time, he says. That is the message in this verse. Verse 29 says, Kurukkodu mel keelilume koorubadum ullum puratthilum engum oppodum murapperum Suniyama thane sulikkum aanmavaye bhavane sei mel. Kurukkodu mel keelilume koorubadum ullum puratthilum engum eppodum. When you talk about dimensions, up, down, middle, left, right, he says there is no such business for Brahman. It is there everywhere. It is multi-dimensional, all-dimensional. So he says, Kurukkodu mel keelilume urapperum engum eppodum urapperum ullum puratthilum engum eppodum urapperum Suniyama thane sulikkum aanmavaye bhavane sei mel. Says, you think of that formless infinitude, he says, all the time, medinamum, every day, every minute if possible, every second if possible, you conceive of that vast, infinite, shunyam is emptiness. Actually, the ultimate state, your ultimate nature, is not described as a void. It is not inert. It is an experiential state of existence, consciousness, bliss. Not an experience acquired through mind. When the mind subsides, what remains is that. You can call it experience, or you can call it just being. I am. The feeling that I am. Bhagavan often quoted from the Bible, I am that I am. What I am? What is that? I am, okay, that I am. You have to, the last I am, you put it in capital letters, you will understand it easily. I am that I am. I am, I am without any mixture of body, mind, consciousness. That's all. Very simple. Body, that's all. It is disidentification from the body. That's what it is talking about. In verse 30, he says, Sunyamum alla, Asunyamum alladam, Sunyam alladumam, Sunyamam, Thanengum Pakabadam Satrum Patrada Anmavai, Ekalum Sindayatru. See, he says, Sunyamum alla, it is not void. Asunyamum alla, it is not non-void. Sunyam alladumam, again, it is not something which is not shunya, which is not emptiness. Sunyama, that is emptiness. See, this is the language of paradox used in Advaita Vedanta, because if it is two, the reality is made up of two, first of all, IT engineers will become enlightened today. The problem is they are all used to thinking in 0, 1, 0, 1. But the ultimate reality, Advaita Vedanta says, is one only exists. It appears as two. Here is where we are all trapped. That's a problem. So, you should be able to say, I am Sentivel, I am not Sentivel. People will judge such a person as mad. He has to go to the asylum, mental asylum. But that's what Advaita Vedanta says. This is a bottle, this is not a bottle. Which means they are making a reference to the first plane of experience, it is bottle. The second plane, so to say, what is it made of? Ultimately, Brahman. It is Brahman that appears as this bottle, as this book, as this body, as this wall, as this sky, as the universe. Oneness. One only does everything. So he says, Thanengum Pakkabadam Satrada Patrada Anmave Ekalum Sindai Yatru. Anma is neutral. It is attributeless. It is because of Atma that all the things are happening in the universe, good and bad. There are people, murderers in the world. There are people who are compassionate. In everything there is good and bad. Food, bad food, good food. The body which is functioning youthfully, if it is dead for 3 days, if you don't attend to it, it gets decomposed. So, Brahman is the cause. But we would ask, why is Brahman or God, what you call God, why should it create both the good things and bad things? If God is there, Brahman is so powerful, it should have created only good things. No. And somebody asked Bhagavan, in the world which was created by God, why is there evil? Then is God evil too? Sri Bhagavan, you know what he said? Yes, God is evil too. God is bad too. This is to make us understand that don't have anything to do with this Vivagara, this transactional reality. Get back to your original nature. There, body is not there, universe is not there, no experience of duality at all. Then what are you bothered about? Get to that state, he says. Don't be stuck at the level of transactional reality and keep doing research. It is not going to help. So here is where our neutral psychology should come to play. What is he saying? Why is he saying? All gurus say the same thing. All rishis say the same thing. Tattvamasi. No, our effort should be to realize our true nature. How do you do it? Make the mind still. Be still and know that I am God. This is a quote often referred by Sri Bhagavan. Be still and know that. How do I become still? By not attending to the thoughts. By seeking the source of thought. By searching for the source of the thought. I thought. I am the body thought. By seeking the birthplace of this I thought, slowly with the practice, we get to gain that stillness of mind, unwavering mind. That is what is realization. This is what is the teaching of Sri Bhagavan. verse 31 says, ஆமயமுடு ஆதாரமற்றதாய் வர்ணமுடு நாம ரூபங்களும் நன்னிடாதாம் அந்நிரஞ்சன நிர்குண ஆன்மாவை நீயும் நிரந்தரமாக நினை. He says, ஆமயமுடு, okay, with all the body, etc., experience of the world, senses, intellect, let it all be there. ஆமயமுடு ஆதாரமற்றதாய். With all this, still there is something which is not dependent on anything. This body, yes, is dependent on breath for it to function, yes, and we need food for the body to function, so we depend on something. Brahman does not depend on anything. It doesn't need food, air. It is the boss of the whole universe. It is everything. It is totally, perfect in itself, complete in itself. Adharamatradai, it doesn't have any support at all. Varnamudu nama roobangalum nannidadam. Of course, this is from the ancient context. That which is not associated with any caste system, social hierarchy, name, form, man, woman, higher caste, lower caste. No business. He says that Brahman, that attributeless Brahman, he says nirandaramaha nina, is very important. He says permanently think about it. See, this is very important, because if you want realization, if you want to optimize the process of realization without wasting time, you need to keep your attention and thought on Brahman constantly, without any break. Sri Bhagavan says in talks, the time gap with which you come back to your Brahman thinking, it should go on reducing. First, 1 week you don't think about it. After that, you think about it. Then, next stage, once in 4 days you think about it, once in 2 days, once in a day. Then, within the day, you think of it twice or thrice. Then you again bring it down to thinking of it 10 times, 20 times. Then you bring it to such a state where there is not a single second we don't think of our original nature. He says, if this happens, he says that the terrific, that ultimate power will manifest in you. You will realize that you are God. He says that dormant power will manifest only then, when you constantly and permanently attend to Brahman. This is very, very important. See, because it is, as I said, it is taking the car, going in the forward direction, then put the reverse gear and come back. We were originally Brahman, then we got identified with the body. Now we are saying, I am not the body, I am Brahman. So it takes some time, the process takes some time. Shri Bhagavan has himself said, progress will be slow. So this is how we proceed in the direction of self-realization.